Morning to
Very,
all.
very good morning to all of you once again. And today, as you know, is the last day of our 5-day program, and we have been doing it very successfully. And today again, we have a very eminent person with us, Dr. Shane Kazim Naqvi. And I request Dr. M.G. Srikumar to kindly introduce him, and then I will say a few words about this LDP and Management Libraries Network, and then we will hand over the session to Professor Kazim Naqvi.
Very good morning to all of you and to Professor S.K. Naqvi. And let's all please stay safe. Thank you very much, Dr. Akhtar Parvez sir. Dear Professor Naqvi, dear Malibnet family, dear delegates of the Malibnet International Virtual LDP, a hearty welcome to the day 5 of this LDP. Friends, it's really a pleasure to address you today as we have reached the final day of the International LDP, and it has been a highly inspiring and encouraging 4 days that we have all witnessed in this LDP. Yesterday, we all listened to Professor Sweta Kushal of the IIM Indore on the very interesting and important topic, importance of communication in interpersonal interaction. It was quite mind-boggling and insightful that how each and every word, action, and gesture severely matter in our communication and the consequences of those deeds. And I hope we all have benefited from it. Today, we have a very special speaker from Jamia Millia Islamia, the Central University, Professor Shane Kazim Naqvi. Professor Shane Kazim Naqvi, with a topic which is most important to all of us in the current context. At a time, the whole world is at war with the corona, or rather, corona is at war with all of the whole world, and it is lockdown 3.0 to 4.0 in India. In fact, this is going to be the new normal as far as education on the imparting of education is concerned. And indeed, we as library professionals, information professionals, we need to seriously get familiarized with this online and virtual learning environment, as lots of our support services are lifeline for these courses, and we need to equip ourselves with the reading lists, other educational resource support, etc., for supporting these courses. And I take this opportunity to extend a very warm welcome to Professor Naqvi. Sir, it's a pleasure to welcome you aboard the Malibnet LDP.
It's my pleasure as well, sir. Thank you.
Professor Naqvi is a highly seasoned computer professional having vast, varied, and diverse experience and capabilities. In his session today, Professor Naqvi will talk on using Google Classroom for online teaching. So, friends, let us welcome Professor Naqvi and over to Dr. Akhtar Parvez.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Srikumar. It's always a pleasure listening to you. Thank you, and your peculiar accent, where you said Shane, actually it's Professor Shane Kazim Naqvi. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me just briefly tell Professor Kazim about Management Libraries Network. We were born in the year 1998, and the first conference that we had was at Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, and then a lot of other conferences were held in different institutions, including IIM Kozhikode, IIM Lucknow, IIM Indore, and many other prestigious institutions. And apart from holding conferences and publishing conference proceedings, we also publish a journal of library management, and Dr. Tariq Ashraf is the editor of that journal. We also do LDP, that is Libraries Development Program, and basically, this is done to sharpen all kinds of skills which are required in libraries among the library professionals. We also promote those library professionals who are serious researchers. We actually provide international financial grant for presenting a research paper outside India. So these few things, we have been doing for the last so many years, almost 22 years, and I'm very fortunate to that I have been associated with it for a very, very long time. So before I start or before I request Kazim Saab to start his session, let me tell you that I have in my career seen a lot of people, and my career is about 31, 32 years. So in my career, I have seen a lot of my bosses, my colleagues, and various other people whom you interact. But I have never seen a person who is as committed as Kazim Saab is. So I think that says all about Kazim Saab. And Kazim Saab, thank you very much. We are very glad that you are with us. And before I request you to proceed, I request all the participants to please uh, write their questions in the chat box. So we'll be asking Kazim Saab at the end. And also, Dr. Meena Lok will be sharing the uh, feedback form. She'll be sharing two feedback forms. One is for the overall conduct of our 5-day program, and the other will be for today's session. So with these, Kazim Saab, I'm extremely grateful to you for having agreed to give your thoughts today. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Akhtar Sir, and thank you, Dr. Sri Kumar, and thank you, Management Library Network, for inviting me to this webinar and thanking me, of someone who can, provide some value add to the participants of this webinar. I am humbled by, my introduction given by Dr. Akhtar Parvez. In fact, probably he has spoken more than what I deserve, actually. Anyhow, I thank him and would like to begin, my topic of presentation, which is not presentation, rather, it will be a demonstration on Google Classroom. As Professor Sri Kumar rightly pointed out, that this has become a necessity for all of us, to start making use of some kind of digital platform while teaching to our students these days. We all are locked up, and some tool is required to fill this gap of which normally is not there in face-to-face learning. So our university also, faced the situation when we were locked up, and there was an emergent need felt, of bridging the gap, and I was roped in. So at that moment, I evaluated my options, what I can do, in the quickest possible time. So we came up with, two things. One is to have some kind of video conference facility between us and the students. And the other one was to have some kind of LMS available. LMS stands for Learning Management System. There are various options which are, before us. We have been talking about Moodle for years, which is a very, very comprehensive tool. We have other platforms such as Blackboard, Kariki, etc. Now, given that all of these platforms would require some administrative activity, some technical activity to be done at our level, so I thought that Google Classroom is the easiest option for us to straight away adopt and start making use of. Now, when I say Google Classroom, so as you might have understood now, that it's a learning management system, and it facilitates teacher, by allowing, all important features of, uploading their material of various kinds, as I would demonstrate to you in a few minutes from now. And then you would be able to interact with you would be able to share, those contents with the students. You would be able to give them some kind of assignments. You would be able to collect the assignments back in your accounts, and so whatever primary activity of teaching is, you would be able to start doing it without depending on anybody. Fine. When I say anybody, so you all have your Gmail accounts these days. So you can use classroom facility through that through those Gmail accounts, which you all have. In addition, in case if your institution has signed up for Google Suite for education, that would provide, additional benefits, which I would be pointing out while I discuss. You can use Google Classroom in your personal capacity through your Gmail accounts. But if you have Google Suite available at institution level, you would have certain additional features, with you. I would, point those features out in course of discussion. So if you make use of Google Classroom, you would be able to communicate. You would be able to share all your material. You would be able to give assignments to the students. Students would be able to submit their assignments back to you. You would be able to evaluate them. Once you evaluate them, your feedback, the marks awarded by you would be available with the student. Student know what and where he is. In case if student has any queries, those queries can be raised by the students from their accounts, and you would be able to answer them. So this is the basic activity which any LMS would have, and this is what Google Classroom is providing. The benefit, as I said, that is that you are not depending on your technical team to set it up for you. It's all set up for you in your Google accounts, right? So with this, I would straight away get into it and start demonstrating, because we have limited time. I'm sharing my screen with you people. I hope you are able to see my screen now.
Yeah, we can see. We can see.
Yeah. In this screen, you can see that I have logged in with my official email account. This is my official email account. But because I am presuming you may not have the official Google Suite available with you, so I have also logged in my personal email account. So my demonstration initially would be based on the personal email account. I would be pointing out, the differences between these two accounts, as I move forward. So once you are into your Gmail account, you can click on this these 9 dots, and somewhere here you would find Classroom app. So this is the bundle of application which Google is providing to you. I am sure you must be familiar with Google Docs, which is an equivalent software or application which provides all kinds of facilities for you to do word processing. It is equivalent to MS Word. Sheets is equivalent to Microsoft Excel sheet. Slides is equivalent to PowerPoint. You have other things. So these 3 primarily MS Office features are here in form of these applications. I'm pointing these out because when you go to Google Classroom, you would be making use of these applications, if you want to. As I said, that you don't depend on anybody. So even if you don't have MS Office installed on your machine, you can make of these utilities from your classroom to create your material and then do lots of other related stuff. So Classroom app is sitting here. You can drag it, drop it as per your convenience. For example, you want to make use of it quite frequently, so you can make it in the top applications which are listed by default. So once it is there, you can click on it and open. The other possibility could have been to straight away type in classroom.google.com. But because right now I'm working with 2 accounts, you might get confused which account has it opened Classroom with. So it is always advisable, in case if you are working with multiple accounts, to select application from here. Otherwise, you could have straight away opened classroom.google.com after logging into your account.
Kazim Saab, can you enlarge? I mean, I think there's some problem with the screen. Can you just put it on the full screen if possible?
Yeah.
Please. Yeah. Now that's fine. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. So this is the URL. So classroom.google.com. This you can straight away open. And once this is open, so this is what you get, right? And on the right side here, you have plus. Right now, it's all clean, right? Because I have not created anything. To create, a class, to create a course, I would click on this plus button. And now when I click on plus button, it gives me two options. One is join class. The other one is to create a class. This manual, let me, right? So so this actually says that you can work in two modes. When you say join class, you are in student mode. When you say create class, you are in teacher mode. So at this point of time, I am presuming that you all are teachers or you would be teaching your students. So I get into the create class mode. It says that it's part of G Suite for Education, as I pointed out. So whatever conditions are, we agree to it, and we say that okay, continue. Now, once I have done this, this is a simple screen which pops up. It asks for the class name. So actually, I'm creating a class. Now, a class is something which is a bit confusing in our terminology. Here, class is actually referring to a course which you want to create. For example, I am teaching course on, say, fundamentals of library management. Okay, so it becomes a course, though it is part of a class which is BLib, for example, right? So so here I can type in the name of the course. They call it class, but I hope you have taken note of it. This is rather a course name, Fundamentals of Library Management. Okay, now this is the compulsory part of it. Rest are optional. So if you have sections, if you have big class comprising 400 student or 500 students, so in such cases you may have sections. You can fill in rest of the field, which are, as I said, are optional. They are not required. Room number is online, and then you say create. So once you press on create button, it will take a minute and create the backend structure which is required. Now, where is this backend structure being created? The backend structure is being created in your Google Drive. I hope you are familiar with Google Drive. So, and let me also, show that to you in a moment once it finishes creating class. So Google Drive, as you know, is a space which has been made available to us by Google, and it can be accessed from here. Yeah. So this is my Google Drive. So whatever courses you create would get into the classroom. So it's not going to Google actually. It's with Google server. But whatever data you are going to upload or whatever transactions are going to happen in this classroom would be accessible to you at any point of time in future. And you can see that a folder with the name classroom has been created here, right? If you double click on this, so course 1, FD webinar, fundamentals of library management, this is what I created just now, right? So you can see that other folders are also there. So these folders were created while I created, different classes earlier. So fundamentals of library management is available. So this is a folder. Again, if you click on it, so right now this folder is empty because I have not created anything in the class itself. But the backend structure has been created in the Google Drive. So at any point of time, if you want to know where my contents are, where my PowerPoint presentations or assignments which I created, where they are, so they all are stored in your drive, right? You can always access it from there. Now, once the course is created, you get this screen, fine. So I am in fundamentals of library management. I'm just familiarizing you with the user interface. On the top, you have four major menus. First is the stream, second is the classwork, fourth is the people, and fourth is the grade. So this is a very simple interface, not cluttered, and doesn't require much technical understanding. Stream is by default the main page, and as the name shows, stream. So this is actually containing stream of your announcements. For example, you may want to put up some notice for your students. So that notice would immediately be available on this dashboard. Once you upload material, so that material would be listed on the dashboard. Whenever a student asks a question, so that would also come here, depending on the kinds of settings you have done for your class. So whatever activity is happening in the class, would be reflected on this page. So this is what the purpose of stream is. Now, classwork is the core part of this LMS. Again, a very simple interface, which I would get into in a moment. So all activities as a teacher, you would be primarily doing from this part of LMS. In people part, you would have people who are involved in this course. So there are two categories. One is the teachers. The second one is the student. So right now you can see that one account is listed, Jamia Millia Islamia. So my account name with which I am working right now, my private account, the name is Jamia Millia Islamia. So you are seeing this Jamia Millia Islamia, but I can add teachers to this class as well. Now, what is the purpose of adding teachers here? At times, multiple people take a single course. So in that sense, it makes in that scenario, it makes a sense to have multiple teachers in a single course. At certain point of time, it may happen that one teacher is teaching and he is now leaving the job, or maybe he's going on a long leave and somebody else has to take over. So in that case, you can have a collaborator, roped in, and he would take over from you for rest of the classes. And in the students part, you would have obviously students listed. All your students who join this course would be listed here. So people would provide you access to who has access to the course, either as a creator or as student. And the fourth part is exclusive to teachers only. The initial three tabs: stream, classwork, and people. If I join class as a student, I would still see stream, classwork, and people. Of course, all features will not be available because I would be working as a student, but grades would not be accessible straight away. So grades would be visible to teachers only. So right now it's all empty because I have not created anything. So this is the top menu, and in this part you can see that the name of the course is Fundamentals of Library Management, and here you can see something has been generated which they refer to as class code. So the class code for this class is AI7AFT3. So if any one of you right now get into your Gmail account and open classroom.google.com, again, click on the plus icon on the right side and join the class. So for joining class, it will ask you the class code. So this is the class code which I can share with my students, right? I can copy it. I can send it to my students on their WhatsApp group or maybe through some kind of email group. And once students are aware of this code, they would be able to join it. So whosoever has access to this code would be able to join the class. So there are two ways of joining it. One is through class code. The other one is that you go to the people, and from here you start adding adding people. For example, I am adding one more account of mine. Yeah, I'm saying invite. Okay, so these three people have already joined, right? 4, 5 have already joined, and so these people joined because I shared the class code with them, right? And I invited this student specifically by sending an email. So you can do it through two ways. One is by exposing the class code, and second is by explicitly inviting people. Fine. Instead of having one single email ID, if you know email IDs, this is one way of doing it. The quickest possible way is to share the code, and once the code is shared, people would be able to join in without any explicit effort on your part. Otherwise, you would have to type in email addresses one by one, and then they would join the class. So I have sent an invite to this student, and let me get into my second account now. I'm opening up another incognito window to work with the second account so that I can also show you how a student views my class. Fine. So I have open this account and see that I have received a mail here asking for, hello, Jamia Millia Islamia invited you to the class Fundamentals of Library Management. Now, what do you want to do? You want to join? So you click on join button. So it again gives me a prompt. Do you want to join this class? I say, yes, I want to. So he has joined the class, right? I'm sorry, this has, yeah. So here you can see that I too have joined from my other account, and these are the people who have joined in. Now, one thing which is important here that because class code I have exposed, so it might get misused. To prevent that from happening, what you need to do is, suppose these are the only students whom I want to permit, and I have all my registrations done now. So I can now go back to the settings by clicking on this small gear button. If you have not noticed it, let me again show this to you. There is a small gear button, right? So this is pointing to the class settings. So if you click on this, it would open up a screen, and this is what you have about the class. And here you have the class code, right? Class code, which you saw on the dashboard as well. So class code, I have the option to display, copy, reset, or disable. So if I know that my class code is being misused, so I can reset it immediately. So once I reset it, class code would change, and nobody would with the previous class code would be able to join. And if I know that all my students have already joined, I can straight away deactivate it by clicking on disable. Now, once I disable, this has been disabled, and I can now close the settings. Again, go to streams, and now you can see that class code is disabled. Okay, so this is the setup, how to involve people. So there are two ways, as I said. One is by explicit invitation. Second one is by sharing the class code. Now let me get into the class work part of it. Now classwork, as I said, that this is the core of this learning management system. As a teacher, you would do all your basic activities from here, and you would be able to control things from this interface only. So let us start by creating a simple thing. So normally we divide our learning material into topics. So first thing you would like to do is create topic. To create topic, introduction to library management. So this is, or it could be unit 1. Okay, unit 1 gets created. I can again say topic 2, unit 2. Okay, unit 1, unit 2. So this way you would be able to add units as per your liking. Now, obviously the order is not correct, so you can drag and drop and set them in correct order. So unit 1 and unit 2, these are the 2 units which I've created now. So this is again not sufficient. So now let us create some contents in it. Now, what contents can be created? Assignment, quiz assignment, question, material, reuse post. So these are the options before us, right? So the 3 parts, assignment, quiz assignment, and question, as clear from their name, is more on the assessment part of it. And the last one is more on reusing something which has already been created earlier. And this reuse is not limited to this course. Fine, and this is a very useful feature. For example, you might create a class in the next session as well for the same course. So the material which you used last year can again be reused by making use of this feature. Right now I don't have anything, but you can make use of this to recall contents from other courses into this classroom, right? So let us now create material. Now material refers to any resource which you would like to share with students. It could be as simple as a text file or a word processor file. That means docx or PDF or maybe PowerPoint or Excel or anything, or video material or a web page. So anything which you want to share with your student, has to be uploaded using material. So let me now show you what material offers to us. So if I click on material, it is having pretty simple interface. Say introduction to library management. So this is optional part, and you are seeing two buttons here. One is add, the other one is create. Now add and create, you would see that they are pretty consistent in terms of use of these buttons. So if I click on add, so it allows me to add any resource from my Google Drive. Google Drive, as you know, is containing all your files which you have uploaded to Google. So in case if you have any PowerPoint presentation uploaded, you can straight away make use of it. If you want to link it with some site, for example, I want my students to go to my website, fine, and maybe I do not know what ZH library, fine, and say add link. So this is also a kind of content which has been added. Fine, so this is the content which has been added. Now, it is not limited to only single piece of content. You can have multiple pieces. For example, now suppose you want to attach a file. You can attach a file from your device, select file from your own device. So maybe let me upload this PDF and say upload. Okay. You can have anything on the YouTube. You can copy paste the URL as well. But this allows you searching YouTube right from the Google Classroom. Our university song. So these are the things which I have added. Now, so if you have anything which is already existing with you, you can make use of add button. If you want to create anything from scratch, for that matter, you can click on create. And as I click on create, you can see docs, slides, sheets, drawing forms. Now these all are part of your Google suite, Google applications, which are bundled with your account, as I told you in the beginning. So if you want to create a file from scratch, you can click on docs, for example. So I am creating a document file, which is similar to Word file. And introduction to library management. Fine. And on the top, you have the file name, right? So once you have created the file, this file is auto-saved to your drive. You don't need to explicitly save it, right? There's no save option. So whenever you start, typing anything, you can see here that it is saving, and your changes to the document are instantly saved by Google into the Google Drive. So once you are finished with, creating this document, you can simply close this, and the document is attached. So by similarly, you can attach slides in case if you wanted to create a PowerPoint presentation, you could have made use of slides, sheets, which is, as I said earlier, equivalent to Excel. Drawings is equivalent to MS Paint. Forms is something which you normally do to create surveys for collecting data dynamically. So any of these things can be created, in similar fashion. So once this is done, on the right side, you have, more options to control it. Now here you have only single course. In my drive, I am having single course. But had I created multiple courses, or were I having, say, multiple courses to start with, all those courses would have been listed here. So it is possible for me to upload material simultaneously to multiple courses. So if you think that this is introduction and this introduction is common to course X and Y, which you are teaching simultaneously, so you can share this course straight away with multiple courses. Now, you have list of students available here. By default, this material which I am going to create now has been, is to be shared with all of these students. But if I want, I can limit it to only one student. So it only goes to one student. It doesn't go to any other student. So that allows you some kind of flexibility. For example, in case of if a student joins in late and he has to be given or she has to be given some additional assignment, so you can create an assignment exclusively for him and assign it to her. Or if you want to do it for the entire class, you can do it in a single click by selecting all the students, right? So it's in your hands. Topic. Now, as you would recall that I created 2 topics. This material is to be associated with what? So I say that it is to go with unit 1, right? So so the basic part has been set up. On the top, you have the simple interface which say post. So if I say post, this material would straight away become available in my student's account. The other part is schedule or save draft. So save draft, if I do, nothing would happen. It would only remain with me. Discard draft, it would be discarded. But schedule is interesting. So if you want this material to be available with student at certain point in time, for example, on certain date or certain time, you can schedule it. This is useful while you schedule assignments with your students. You can schedule assignments submission in similar manner. So from this time, my questions would be available and you need to submit by this time. So in this case, this material is to be made available instantly. So I simply say post. So if I, once this finishes posting, this introduction to library management, if I again click on it, you would see that these are the contents, right? These are the contents which I shared with the students. View material. So this is the material which is available. So as a student, people who had been enrolled in, they can check from their account. And those who had not done this, I would show you what student now views it like. So student views it. This is my student account. If I refresh the page, now it says that Jamia Millia Islamia posted a new material, Introduction to Library Management. Fine. If I also go to my email and see that student would also be notified over email that a new assignment has been, new material has been posted by the teacher, and he would also have notification here. If I click here, so the material is in front of me now. I can open up. If I open, for example, this file which I created, I would be able to read it. So the material is before the student now. He can open up and watch videos in case if you have shared it with them. So this is how student is viewing the assignment now, right? So not assignment, but the material. Again, let us go back to the main page. So this is demonstration of creating material. I hope this is okay. And in case if you have any questions related to this, you can post it and we can have a discussion on it later on. It's 11:41 now. Let me now get into the question thing. Now, question is something which you may want to ask your students in between. Right? It's not very important element as far as higher level teaching is concerned. But what this can do actually, I would tell you, in case if you want to have some kind of short answer or a multiple choice question given to the student while you are in the class. So in such scenarios, you can make use of it. So how is Google Classroom? Multiple choice. Okay. Good. Fine. I can have, again, these two buttons are common as I explained earlier. Functionality remains same. You can attach anything to these. You can attach or you can create some new document. So if you have such type of thing, you can make use of question. Now, interface on the right side is a bit different now. If you see, because this is a question, it goes to whom? So here is the list of the classes. Right now, I have only one class, so I am not able to change anything. Here you have all my students, so this goes to all my students. What is the point percentage which I am assigning? So you can assign marks, to individual questions which you are asking. Is there any due date? So if there is any due date, you can write down, you can select the due date. To which topic does it belong to? It belongs to Unit 1. And from here on the top, you have ask. Or you can again have schedule. So, okay, this question would go, but on this date at this time, right? Or if you want to straight away ask, you can say ask. So this is a 10 marks question which I have assigned to all my students, right? And once I do, you can see that this has now appeared on my dashboard. How is Google Classroom? You can reorder because the order should have been like this. If you want to keep it like this, so you can drag and drop and create the order. So how is Google Classroom? Now, if I open this up right now, so you can see that this has been assigned to 6 students. There are 6 students in my class who have enrolled. Turned in is another thing which you can see here. This is 0. So that means no student has responded to this question. Okay. And if I go back to my student account and see what happens here. So this is the question. So how is Google Classroom? Your answer is okay or good. So I say good. Now, if you note here, I can see that the status on the top here is assigned. Fine. So that means it has been assigned. And as a student, I can also see that this is of 10 points, right? So after setting my response, I can say turn in. And turn in goes to the teacher. So that means student has now submitted the response. In addition, what student can do is write some kind of private comment for the teacher. This is a private comment, so that means it would only be visible to the teacher, and it enhances communication between students and the teacher. And so submitted. Okay. Okay, so once I have done this, I can move back and see the status. So right now there are 3 people who have turned in. Turned in means submitted. Assigned is 3. So 3 have not yet responded, while 4 now have submitted. So this is actually, see, it is happening in real time. So 1 more has now joined, and 4 assignments have been received on my part. Now, what are these 4 assignments? Who have submitted? So to know this, I clicked on the turn-in number, and you can see that Mr. Ganesh, Parveen Kapoor, Qasim Naqvi, and Sujit have submitted their assignments. Now I can view their, because they have, fine, so responses are here. So for Sujit, response is good. Ganesh, response is good. Parveen, response is good. So if you want to take some quick feedback, so this is what you can do. And from here, you can, evaluate the assignment depending on, so let me give all of them 10 marks. Okay. Now, so this is how you do evaluation, right? You can do it instantly on the spot. You can see the response, evaluate the assignment, which in this case was pretty simple, and straight away you just wrote the marks. Now, these marks will not be visible to the students at this point of time. Now, in some institute, there is a policy of not sharing marks before declaration of result. So if that is your policy, then it's okay for you to keep it like this. But in case if you want to share it with your students, so you can say return. Return goes to the student. So that means your these responses which have been received would now go back to the students, and students would now be able to view them. So you say return. So this would be returned to all of these students, and you click here. Okay. Now again, let me go to so you can see here that as a student, I am able to see 10 out of 10 here. So I know my score, and I can see comments as well, which is nice and very motivating as well. So let me now go to the course part again and classwork, because I have a couple of more things to join. Then comes quiz assignment. Now, quiz assignment is more detailed kind of thing, wherein you would be able to collect responses of multiple categories from the student. So let me now show it to you how to do it. So this is quiz 1. Again, if I want to have some supplementary material attached to it, I can click on add or create, and here is blank quiz. So if you click on blank quiz, it would open up Google form. Many of you might have already used it. Those who have not, just see this demonstration and then use it on their own. Lots of video tutorials are already available. You can make use of them. So quiz 1, I would suggest that you name your quiz as well. You rename it so that you are able to identify this quiz in your Google Drive later on. Otherwise, you might get confused. So here are the questions. So for example, what is Google Classroom? LMS, KMS, KMS. Fine. So for example, I just give them a multiple choice question. What is Google LMS? Now, in this case, I know the correct answer is LMS. So I click on add key and say LMS is correct. So LMS is now correct, right? I have set this as correct. You can see here. I can add additional questions as well. And on the right side, you can see that multiple categories of questions are available. You could have Google Classroom is, again, I can use the same options: LMS, KMS, AMS, BMS. From here, I add answer key. So this is correct, and here you can assign them points. For example, I am assigning this as 5-point question, and so this becomes a 5-pointer, and I say done. Now, in the previous question, I did not assign any marks, so that is why you are not seeing it. You are seeing 0 here. Let me make corrections and assign 5 to this as well. Say done. So suppose these are the 2 questions which I wanted to ask to my students. Though it's you can you feel free to add as many questions as you want to of different types. There are different types of questions: multiple choice, check boxes, drop down, file upload, linear scale, multiple choice grid. because of time limitations, I cannot get into each one of them, but they are quite comprehensive in terms of what they offer to you as a teacher. So once I am finished, setting up my questions, I would just close this, and I'm done. On the right side, again, you would see similar interface. You would have for whom, for all my students, and this time the points are 10. Again, if you want to have some due date, topic, this goes to topic unit 1, and I say assign. So now all my students would be getting this quiz. What is this quiz? It has been assigned to 6 students, right? Nobody has turned in. So if you start attempting this quiz, I would again be able to, view same kind of thing here. So I am now in my student account. Quiz has come. So this is the quiz here, right? So what is Google LMS? I say LMS. What? So 1 correct and 1 incorrect. I can see my points here. I say submit. I can also view my score. Again, go back here and you see that 3 have turned in. View assignment. Who have turned in? I am able to see here. Ganesh H has answered both of them correctly, so he is getting 10 out of 10. Now, as I was telling you, that there is a small difference between what Google offers you when you use it as part of G Suite, or when you use it in your personal capacity. So right now, the account which I'm using is in my personal capacity, right? So because of this personal restriction, what am compelled to do is assign marks on my own, though you know the correct answers. What answers were correct? I had already assigned the key. But the personal account doesn't provide you the ability to automatically import those marks into your setup. Were you using the G Suite for education, it would have given more additional capacity, capability to you of importing the marks on its own, right? So in that case, you would not be required to evaluate these assignments one by one. For quiz assignments, you can import marks automatically if you are using G Suite for education, right? But in case if you are using it in personal capacity, so there is no feature available there. So this is one of the drawbacks of using it in the personal capacity. So I have assigned marks to all the students, and then I say return, so that all of them would be able to see their grades, but not grades, the marks. Okay, and then comes the last part of it, which is, again, the last part is assignment. Fine. So assignment is more of a serious work which you assign to student. Let me demonstrate how to do this. So I say assignment 1, or again, you have optional part. You can add or you can create. Fine. So if I create an assignment, so fine. So what I would do, I would be typing in some questions for my students and would be asking them to do it. So this is a Google Doc which I opened. I say assignment 1. This is question 1. So I could have typed in, in detail, and right now I'm just, typing in these labels only. Question 1, question 2, question 3, right? And again, you name it appropriately. So assignment 1. So suppose this is the assignment which I wanted to give my student, which comprise 3 questions. And once this is done, I say, okay, now close. Now, on the right side, you can see that this is the assignment file which I have created. On the right side, you have these options now. Student can view file. Now, what it means is that every student, when he opens the file, he would only be able to see it as a PDF file. Though you have created a Word document, they would not be able to make any changes, but they would be only able to view the file. The second is that they would be able to type in the same file, which you are creating for assignment, right? So this can be of use in case if you want to, to give some kind of group assignments to your students and say that, okay, this is the question, all of you work together and submit, this assignment. So they can all work together on a single file and you would receive that file. Though this is at times a bit risky because students may overwrite each other's work, right? The best, or the rather most useful part which I find is that you make a copy for each student. So what will happen in this case, this assignment is a single file which I have created in my drive. What will happen that if I have 6 students in my class, 6 copies of this document would be created, and each copy would be named, with this for the student. So if I have student 1, so the name of the assignment will be student 1. Similarly, student 2, student 3. So I would be able to identify by seeing the file name which student has submitted this file, right? So I would say exercise this option and say make a copy of it for each student. On the right side, you have, again, you can assign it to all students. For how many marks? Say 100 marks. Is there any due date? Is there any topic? And on the right side, you have rubric. Again, let me now point this out that if you were using your G Suite for Education account, it would have also one more option to check for similarity. You are already familiar with Orkun and Turnitin, etc. So Google Suite for Education provides a similarity check within classroom, though it is not part of your private, classroom thing. So it is not available in the private classroom account, but it is available in the G Suite for Education account. Again, let me point this out that this is not as rigorous as what Turnitin or would provide. It is limited to the openly available resources on the web. So it would check all websites and find out in case if student is just lifting and copy pasting the assignment work. But unfortunately, this is not available in the personal capacity. So, but in case if you have G Suite for Education, you can note that it is available. You would be able to find out the percentage of similarity in each assignment submitted by the student. In the rubric part, you would create some kind of guideline for the student, which would enable them to write answers appropriately. For example, you may specify a criteria. Criteria could be, for example, originality. Fine, originality would carry how many marks? So it was of say 100 marks, so it carries say weightage of 60 for me. Then again, I say add one more criteria. It could be clarity. It carries a weightage of 20. I can keep on adding more criterias. Criteria description is language. You can see that I have created a rubric for 80 marks. So let me finish this by writing one more, say 20. So language, for language, I would be giving 20 marks. So once this is done, I would save my rubric. There are errors on this page, please fix and try. Okay. Criteria title is to be given. Okay, so rubric has now been created. So if I now assign this to my students, now this is being assigned now. I've shifted to my student account, and this is assignment 1. Now you can see that student, first of all, he is immediately able to see your criteria of evaluation. He sees that for originality, I'm going to be given 60 marks. On clarity, I would be given 20 marks. I would be evaluated on 20 marks, and on language, I would be evaluated on 20 marks. So he knows, what standards have been fixed by the teacher. So from here, he can now attempt this assignment. You can see that I had named my assignment as assignment 1, but the name of the file here is Qasim Naqvi assignment 1, right? So it has, because I had made individual copies for this assignment. So each of you, the other 5 students, you would see their names before the name of the assignment. So question 1, now here is my answer 1, answer 2, answer 3. So once I am done, I would close it from here. Fine. So I have responded, and I need to click on this button, turn in. So unless and until I turn in, teacher will not be able to view my assignment. So once you have finished your assignment, you need to press on this turn in button, and turn in would take this assignment back to the teacher. So again, I am on in my teacher's account. One student has submitted. Who has submitted? So I am the one who submitted. And what is this assignment? I can open this up. Okay, so these are the answers which student gave. And now here you can now evaluate. 100 marks was the weightage given to this assignment. For originality, I have to give out of 60. So criteria is in front of me. So out of 60, say I say 40. On clarity, I say 15. And on language, I say 15. So total has been done for me, 55 out of 100. And I can return this to my student after evaluating. And it is always good that I also give some comments. So to enable you to write comments, which would go to the student to help him understand why marks have been given like this. So answer 1, for example, I want to have a comment here. So you can click on add a comment. You should have also written some more. You should have written some more details, and then say comment. Okay, so this would go as comment from my side to my student, and from here I can see, I can click on return. So 70 out of 100. Again, let me refresh this page. Student sees he got 70 out of 100. Okay, and in case if he wants to see what comments have been written by the teacher. Yeah, you should have written some more details here. So student would be able to know what teacher was expecting, and that way he would be in sync with what your requirements are. Okay, so So here is my 5. This 1 has been graded. For 5 students, I have not received the assignment yet. One student, so 5, it's due. 1 I have already graded, right? And so this is what is all about assignments. The next part is, for example, if I click on graded, right? There is one more feature which you can make use of here. On settings part, you can, because I have been evaluating my students, fine, so where are the grades? So copy all grades to Google Sheets. If I click here, you can see that a grade sheet would automatically be created for me. Right? So grade sheet has been created for me. So there were 6 students. Assignments have not been submitted by these students, so there is no grade here. But grade sheet can be prepared, by going into this gear icon, and from here you can click on copy all grades to Google Sheets, or you could have downloaded it as a CSV file in your local folders, right? And the last component is grades. If you want to see grades, on a single screen, the screen can be used. The last part, if you notice here, is that there is no overall percentage. Fine, though the students have submitted their assignment, but the overall percentage is missing. So if you want to have that in your grade sheet as well, so for that matter, you can move to the settings icon, and from here, you can have overall grade calculation. Right now, it's no overall grade. You can assign them total points and say save. Fine. So the moment I saved it, you can see that all students have been graded. No grade 100%, 70.83, 100%, 100%. So you have to, as a teacher, ensure that all assignments have been submitted. Otherwise, these grades may be misleading. I think I am already well over my time. So I would now like to quickly conclude, but also tell you what I could not demonstrate. In grading part, you have option to classify your assignments into categories. For example, you can create say quizzes, you can create questions. They all may be your say minor assessments, right? So you can create a category by going into the grading part and creating grade category. Fine, you can add category from here, and different categories can be created. And once these categories are created, you would be able to classify assignment into either of these categories. You can create multiple categories, right? And then also assign certain percentage to each category. For example, your minor assessments would be of 25% and your major assessments would be of 75%. So accordingly, if you have this requirement, so once you have created categories and assigned them weightage, from here you need to select weighted by category. And once you select this, your grade sheet would automatically change and marks would automatically be calculated based on the percentage which you have assigned here in this case. So this is another possibility. In case if you want to make use of it, you can explore it further. But this is how you make use of Google Classroom as an LMS. And again, if I go back to my Google Drive, you would be able to see that contents are now listed here. I created assignment. I uploaded some material. You can see that all this material is available here. If I go to assignment, you can see that, these are the assignments which have been created for individual student. I created only one assignment. And these are the, for example, assignment 1 assigned to Mr. Ganesha, right? John Meer, Praveen Kumar, Qasim Naqvi. So these are the assignments which were assigned, multiple copies of them were created for my students. So all these assignments are lying in my Google Drive only, right? You can always access them from here. So everything is in your drive. Start. And that's it. So if you want to make reuse of post, this is the last thing. So because I only have one course available, it is only listing one, but within this course, I created multiple things. So if I want to make reuse of quiz one, I can select and say reuse and would be able to modify it, without any issues. So this is what Google Classroom is all about. So to conclude, it's a very simple learning management system. If you compare it with other learning management systems such as Moodle, which are very, very comprehensive but complex as well, they require some kind of technical setup to be done first. Only then you are able to make use of it. Or you can alternatively make use of such LMS on clouds as a cloud service if they are offering one. The Google LMS doesn't have such dependencies. You just need to have a Google Mail account. And from there, you can make use of Google LMS. Every content which you create is stored in your drive. You can create assignments. You can create quizzes. You can create questions. You can upload material of any type, be it a Word file, be it PowerPoint file or a video file, or maybe a web site link. You would be able to create grade sheets as well. You would be able to enroll people. You would be able to restrict people from getting enrolled. And you would be able to have co-teachers as well. So with this, I think that it provides a comprehensive yet very simple and intuitive interface for teachers to work with. And I believe that in case if you want to make use of it, you will not have any problem. Lots of material is available already on YouTube in form of tutorials. In case if you have missed out on any feature, make feel to use of, go to YouTube and search for Google Classroom tutorials. You would find many. And in case if you have any questions, my probably email address is with Akhtar Saab. We can share it with you. And I would be very, very happy to answer that later on as well. So thank you for allowing me to go overboard by almost 15 minutes. So thank you, Akhtar Saab. Now you may take over.
Welcome, sir. Welcome. And it was indeed a great demonstration. I have received a lot of messages saying that it is very, very useful. At the same time, I have received a large number of questions. Let me just start telling you. But before I tell you the questions, let me just make a small announcement that because Qasim Saab has a meeting after a few minutes, so we'll have to leave. And then, we will invite feedback from you about the LDP that we had. There are some people, and then those who wish to speak about anything, they can raise their hands, and then the technical person at Parul University, they will allow you to speak. Just a second, let me just go to my... Yeah, so first question is from Manju Dubey. What copyright obligations we should take care of while working with Google Classroom? I think it will depend from document to document, Qasim Saab.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if Google Classroom is better LMS than Moodle LMS, please explain.
No, Google, which one?
It says if Google Classroom is better LMS than Moodle LMS.
No, in terms of simplicity, yes, it is. Because as I said that it is providing you all basic features to work with, right? You can upload any kind of material. You would be able to evaluate assignments. So in terms of simplicity, it is quite intuitive. The best part is that it doesn't require any technical setup at your place, right? So if you have simple Gmail account, you are up and running, right? In case of Moodle, if you want to make use of it, so in terms of features, it is pretty mature, LMS. For example, one basic feature would be, which we normally look at LMS, is that the ability to export our material. So for example, right now I am on Moodle and tomorrow I want to shift to Blackboard LMS, for example. So in case if my exports are SCORM compliant, I would be able to take backup quickly and would be able to import into another LMS. So those kind of features are not available in Google Classroom right now. There are lots of plugins which are available in Moodle. They are not available in Google Classroom. For example, if you want to work with Turnitin plugin is available in Moodle, but it is not available in Google Classroom, which is providing you facility to check in to check plagiarism using its own similarity checking algorithm, which is more into searching the web resources. So it doesn't require technical setup. So that is the best, the major advantage of it. You are carrying all your material with you all the time in your drive, and that material makes sense to you. Even if you delete a classroom, the material would remain with you. But in case if you go to Moodle, taking backups and restoring them is a complex operation. So again, so if as an enterprise you have adopted Moodle, it's okay, you can go ahead with it. But in case if you want to use it in your individual capacity, I would suggest that go for Google Classroom. But in case if some technical support is available and some setup is available at your place, then Moodle again is more rich and matured in terms of the features which it is offering. Even if you look at the creating question banks, for example. So in Moodle, it is perfectly possible for you to create question banks, and from there you randomly select questions. Now, such features are not available in Classroom, right? But you can always make alternate arrangements. Those are always possible. So in terms of maturity, Moodle is quite ahead of Google Classroom. But in terms of offering and practical feasibility of implementing in a very simple setup, Google Classroom is, I think, is something which we can always make use of. Thank you.
Okay. Then we have one question from Ranjita Dash, madam. How would you grade the students? I think you have already shown rubrics, so it has already been answered, right, Kazim sir?
So what was the question, sir?
How would you grade the students? You already covered it.
No, one is that in case if you are giving some assignment, you can create a rubric, and then grading, you have this online facility. There is a space wherein you can type in marks. So you go through the assignment and award marks online itself.
Okay. Then Surbhi Seth asked one question, and then she said it has already been answered. Then we have Charu Gaikwad. Can we upload library feedback form in question part? Yeah, I think.
Yeah, you can do it using Google quiz form, quiz assignment.
Okay.
Quiz, in case if you have any kind of feedback is to be taken, so that matter you can make use of quiz assignment feature.
Okay. Then Dr. Kutti Kumar, I want to know how many students accompany at a time. Accompany means can be enrolled, right? I think. What does
how many students? I have not seen any limit as such.
Okay.
It is up to you to know what is feasible for you. I have not seen any limit, because what is actually the limit is on your drive capacity, right? Which is also flexible in case of enterprise accounts or Google Suite for education account, it is quite flexible. But in terms of your normal accounts, it is normally 5 GB. So if you can accommodate all your students within 5 GB, that is sufficient. But if you go beyond that, then there may be an issue.
Okay, then we have one question from Akhtar Hussain. Akhtar Hussain, as you know, is the Secretary of Management Libraries Network, and he has been contributing immensely. And recently we found out a new talent in him. He's a good designer also. So his question is, which are similar platforms like Google Classroom?
As I said, Moodle is one.
Yeah.
Moodle, Blackboard, Kariki. You have lots of more, but these are quite prominent ones.
All right. Then Ms. Noor Jahan Sheikh, I would like to know how do we attach library websites to the class? But I think that he already covered.
You can go to create assignment or create material, and then there is a add button. From there, you select link and provide link to whatever resource you want to link.
Yeah. Then Mr. Saurabh Datta, he's asking whether it can work with 2G Google Classroom.
Yeah, it doesn't take much, but in case if suppose you are providing video references as well in your material, then on 2G networks it might be difficult for students to download, not download, but actually, view the content. But in terms of contents, right? Because most of them are text contents, they can be easily downloaded. And for mobile users, there is an app called Classroom app that needs to be installed on the mobile phones.
Okay. Then Mr. Vijay Kumar, how to send an attachment file to teachers?
To teachers, I presume that he's talking about the co-teachers. And if he's talking about co-teachers, then one is that you make use of email, or that is better.
Right.
Otherwise, you can save your assignments as a draft and then request them to review them.
Yeah. Then another promising professional, Mr. Biswajit Das. So Classroom are available for only Google search engine or other search engine like Yahoo, etc.
No, it has nothing to do with the search engine actually. Google is offering this as a part of its application bundle, right?
Yes.
They have been doing it for years. So it's not available with Yahoo, but it has nothing to do with the search engine part. Google search is a separate facility which is available with Google, but application bundle is a separate part which is available with Gmail accounts, right? So you can make use of Google Classroom through your Gmail account, not through the search Google search engine.
Okay. Then Mr. Sanjay Pawar, how many students accompany? Okay, same. I mean, this question has already been answered. Then Mr. Tomar, he is asking about the limit of a student's enrollment. I think that you already answered. Then how much data can be uploaded? Is there any limit? So that probably you also answered, Kazim Saab.
G.
Yeah.
So
it's
just limited to your drive capacity.
Correct. So then, Mr. Sadanand Chaudhary, I want to know, Google Classroom is open to use by anyone individually or its organization only? I think that also, I mean, has already been answered. You can have individual account also.
Just one more addition to this, because I pointed out, as I said, that this can be used in private capacity as well. The demonstration which I made was made through my private email ID, right? So all features which I demonstrated are open for anybody who is having Gmail account. Certain additional features are offered to people who are coming from G Suite for education. And these features include ability to check similarity in the assignment. Fine. Similarly, automatic evaluation of quiz questions and importing of the marks into your system. And third facility, which I did not talk about, was to have an online virtual classroom. So right now, you people are using Zoom, for conducting this class. This is a kind of virtual class. So Google is offering Google Meet facility. So Google Meet facility would enable you to take class using Google Meet online, using the same platform, similar to Zoom. You would not be required to have anything additional. So in case if you have G Suite for education, you would be able to set up Google Meeting from Classroom itself. This is not available in the private capacity. For that, you need to have G Suite for education account, which is again free, but your institution need to register.
Okay, and one Priyanka from Assam, she's asking, is there any limitation of Google Classrooms?
Yeah, I compared it with Moodle earlier, so similarly.
Yes. Okay, how many questions can fit into in a quiz, Mr. Santosh?
No limit as such. Whatever is logical, probably you would be able to accommodate them in your quiz.
Then we have one of our friends, Sanjay Kataria, who is in Bennett University. He's librarian there. So he is asking, all data saved in Google Drive is ultimately with Google only. Is it really safe to conduct examination or other confidential work related to teaching and learning in Google Classroom?
This is up to your confidence. I would get into this, but even your Gmail is with Google, right? So probably we can trust. And for example, what would they do actually in case if because you are the teacher, you are giving them the marks, right? Your students are seeing everything and transparently they know how have you evaluated. So I don't think that it is the kind of domain which requires extremely high security. and why would people in Google be interested in your such contents, right? You can download such things in your private folders later on. Once you are finished, you don't keep them uploaded all the time.
Yes, yes. So one Miss Susan, huh? How to make the students to turn up since they are not coming to the Google Classroom during this lockdown?
This is
Anyway,
the
I think, yeah, I think
uh,
this.
probably
Then,
we need
yeah,
to reassess ourselves as teachers.
absolutely,
Why are we not able to attract them to the classes? Make our
absolutely.
classes more interesting.
Very true, sir. Very true. Then, Mr. Jahangir, are these Google Classroom and Google Suite free? I think that has already been answered. So you have to pay. Somebody actually also asked how much one has to pay for G Suite.
The G Suite for education is free, provided you satisfy their requirements. Especially for government universities, there is no issue at all. I set this up in Jamia almost 10 years back, and we have been using this without any issues, with almost no downtime for almost since 2010. So for educational institutions with government, it's absolutely free. You just have to register on their site and create an account for yourself, and it comes with immense features.
Yes, true. I think we
set it up in Nano as well.
Yeah, in our university you did it.
Yeah.
Then in Intihab, can we reuse assignment doc created earlier? I think
yes,
we can.
You
Yeah.
can.
Then Niharika, if a student wishes to attach any drawing or sheets as part of assignment, how
Yes.
can it be done?
Yes. This can be done while submitting. There is an option for the student to upload or attach any other file. If you go to the student part, you can notice that while you are submitting or turning in your assignment, on the right side, there is an option, there is a button there wherein you can attach any file. It could be a drawing file or it could be a PowerPoint or PDF, anything.
Okay. Then Julie's asking, sir, I have faced to set a question like library collections where every field should be written, not only just tick marks. I think I'm not able to understand this question, so I'm just skipping. Maybe we can ask Kazim Saab later via email. And then we have from just a second.
Somebody
Yeah, if a student wish to, yeah, Arahan Chishti, as a librarian, can I share any document or other material to users through Google Classroom? Yeah, I think.
Yeah, material can be shared, any material, but they need to be enrolled in your class. So if you want to share library material, probably in conventional sense, I expect that a mail group would be a better option.
Yes, yes. Then we have Saira from Indore. Does the classroom from Gmail has facility of taking up online classes?
Yes, as I said that you can set up online classes using Google Meet, but it is only part of G Suite for education right now. You can make use of Google Hangout, which is limited, or you can maybe in case if you have features such as Zoom available, you can set up classes using Zoom and share material. Basically, what should happen is that we should make use of this facility in a flipped classroom setup. That means I share my material with my students first, and then I encourage them to go through the material and then invite them for an online discussion. Fine. So this becomes a flipped classroom. So earlier, whatever I was teaching in my class, I was going through all my notes and material, right? We flipped this setup. We ask our students, okay, this material is with you, you go through it. And in case if you have questions, you come to the class, we will be online and I'll answer. So in that case, you can set up meetings using Google Meet, or you can make use of Google Classroom or maybe Skype or Microsoft Team or any other platform.
Okay, then Madan Singh Golwal, I mean, you have already answered that about G Suite subscription. And then we have a list of questions from Preeti Sharda. She is from Chandigarh. So I would request Madam to please send an email to Kazim Saab. I'll give you his email ID. And then, in chat box, I see a large number of questions. Again, a lot of people are asking some repetitive questions also. So, and there are some genuine questions also. So, since there is no time, Kazim Saab has to go out for a meeting at 12:30. So we will not take much of his time, but you know, you can ask me about his email, and then you can contact Kazim Saab. And then just a second, Kazim Saab, please hold on. Yeah. So somebody is asking, can we share PPT? There was no PPT, so how will you share? So, okay.
What I would do is I would provide couple of video links to Akhtar Saab to his email ID. He would be able to circulate, because there is no
we will do that.
Point in preparing PPT. It would be lots of slides, and you would lose the interest. So it would always be nice in case if you can go through some video material and then open up your accounts and practice it. So I have a couple of two video links with me, which are quite comprehensive. So I would share it with you, and then you can pass it on to your participants.
Yeah, I will do that. I will do that. Thank you, Kazim Saab. Thank you for your very
Thank you, sir.
Excellent presentation. As usual, is you deliver the best, and we are really thankful to you. On behalf of Management Libraries, I would like to thank you, and hope you will keep helping us in the future also.
Yeah,
thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Kazim Saab. Thank you very much.
Thank you to all the participants, to Akhtar Saab and Professor Sri Kumar, and entire family management library network. And I look forward to more interactions with you people later on. Thank you, Akhtar Saab.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, yeah. So, Dr. Sri Kumar.
Yeah.
Sir, if you permit, I mean, how do we go about? I mean, can we take some feedback? Huh?
I would like to, propose the vote of thanks, and if you want to take the feedback in before that, it's up to us.
Kazim Saab. So, sir, I think Kazim Saab has already left, apparently. So
okay, that's
maybe
fine.
So maybe sir, towards the end, if you can do it.
Yes.
All right, sir. All right. So can we start the feedback from some of the participants?
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, Dhaval.
Yes.
I think one is.
Allowed?
Yeah, I think one is by Dr. Nabi Hassan, who is a librarian at IIT Delhi. So can we unmute him and
yeah.
Yeah. And the rest of the people, Dhaval, you already know.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me, madam?
Very much, sir. Very much.
Yes.
So, I really don't have words of appreciation for Malignant. There is a tsunami of webinar. Even I have also been conducting webinars for SLA Asian chapter. But Akhtar Saab and Malignant has an habit of doing something different or doing things differently. When people like Dr. Sri Kumar and other people are there who have been associated with great institutions like University of Malaya or IIM Indore. So it is completely a different type of program. It's a complete package which has given everything, like you have been trained regarding author workshop or how to help your faculty to publish or to improve the visibility, which is very essential for ranking and for public perception. So that was one of the wonderful things they started, and they started with the, you can say, best people. Cambridge people were there, were thoroughly professional and trained. And in fact, the other presentation apart from today's presentation were really wonderful. Luckily, I have been attending.
Dr. Nabi Hassan, I think we are losing.
Yeah, we have lost him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next is Preeti Sharma.
Yeah. Who is that?
Preeti Sharma.
I would request all the participants to kindly limit yourself to maybe 1 or 1.5 minutes, so that more people
only
are
1 minute, because we have a limited session.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and I'm working as a librarian in Chandigarh. I will congratulate MedBlindNet for organizing this event, and although every librarian is engaged in these kind of events, but this was quite different as subjects and the content was quite different. I really enjoyed all the sessions, and I would like to say that the program was well organized and well synchronized. The speakers were good, content was good, and the pace of the program was very, very nice. And thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I hope we'll continue sessions like this, and I'll be part of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam.
Dr. Akhtar, who is the next? Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, can I request Dhaval to please first take Shyam Sundar, because he's in South America and it is late night there. If he can just say a few things and then go to sleep. Shyam Sundar, he's from South.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Dhaval? Hello?
Hello? Yeah, sir. I am not able to get connect with Shyam Sundar, sir.
Okay, you give it to someone
Can
else.
you able to connect with him? And you
No problem.
No problem.
Till Mitul sir is online.
All right.
So
Sure.
Mitul sir,
Yeah. Hello.
yeah, he's from Bangladesh. He wants to talk about the SLDP. Yes, sir. Please.
Yeah. Nice to meet you. Good afternoon, everybody. I am Professor Dr. Nasiruddin from Bangladesh. Can you listen me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So last four session, I just missed one session, but 3 sessions continuously I am attending. It's excellent. It's very effective and it's very demonstrative session. I'm enjoying. It's not a webinar. It's not a session like distance mode or anything. I'm just listening it, I think, from face to face. So everything is nice. And I wanted to ask some questions to our previous presenter, but he left, I think. So
you can mail me all your questions.
Yeah, I will mail him.
You can mail.
I will mail him. I have kept my questions here. So I will just give thanks to ManLibNet, which is, I strongly believe that I am also part of this.
Yes.
Because as an international member, I was committed to be with you every time. And after just this situation, I'm in this havoc situation, we can allow to be together. So I'm giving thanks to Dr. Dhaval, Sri Kumar, Professor Akhtar, Dr. Minalok, Nita, to all for arranging such kind of program. This is very effective, and I'm not taking your permission, but I have given few links to some of my students. They are also listening. Sometimes they are also sharing with me that they but it's very good. It's very effective, and I wish you good luck. At the same time, I wish that all people will stay safe in the home during this pandemic situation, and we all will be connected every time, everywhere. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So thank you so much, sir. Next is our Myra from Portugal. She wants to talk about. Myra, madam.
Yes.
She wants to. Yeah.
Good morning, madam. Yes. Yeah, I think you are able to hear me.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I'm a librarian in Portugal, as you told, and I need to wake up very early in the morning. 6 o'clock in the morning, really, for us is really to join you, and it was really a pleasure. I would like to say that I have a strong connection with your library community and with librarians in India, because since 2017, I've been visiting IIT Gandhinagar as a scholar in residence, and this was an opportunity to meet Indian colleagues, namely Mita, and she was in fact responsible why I am attending this program, because she told me that ManibNet was going to hold this international library development program. So I'm very grateful to you, to all ManibNet network, for allowing me to participate and giving some feedback. So considering the number of attendees and the countries where they belong, we previously, you were speaking about someone from South America. So you have participants in Asia, Europe, South America. This was really a global program. And it was very interesting for me and useful and very comprehensive, because most of all the topics that were in this program are very important topics for us as librarians. And in fact, it was possible to see that even in times of confinement, where we are separate because we have to keep this social distance, we as librarians that are used to work collaboratively, we took advantage, and ManibNet is responsible for this. We took advantage of this of confinement to be together and to reflect together about different questions. And in fact, we were able with this program to show how libraries and librarians still are active, vibrant, and able to contribute to social and economic development. So this program for me is a clear example how librarians are able to transform themselves and adapt to different contexts, being able, in fact, to take advantage of digital platforms and technology to teach, to learn, to reflect, to share knowledge, and also to think collaboratively. So one of the things that I saw is that you have in your webpage a quote from Ellen Keller. And I think that this quote from Ellen Keller, in fact, sums up very well the soul and the spirit of this program. So in fact, alone, we can do so little, but together we can do so much. So I think that this program was a clear example of how together we are able to do a lot of things. Alone, we cannot really do so much. And for me, it was also interesting because seeing how you in India, my colleagues, some of you, I know them. So it was also interesting, and it motivated me to even to belong to your association. So one of these days, you will receive an email requesting to be an international member for ManibNet. So thank you so much for your effort and to keeping alive librarians and libraries, because we really made
Thank you so much.
make the difference. Thank you so
Thank-
much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you so much
you.
for your
Presence
kind
makes a
words.
difference.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely.
And keep
Nisa
safe.
Singh, yeah,
Take care.
Yeah, same to you. Yeah.
I think Nisa
So
Singh
next is Nisa Singh is, yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Dr.
Okay,
Nisa from Central State Library, Chandigarh. Respected Sri Kumar sir, Akhtar Pervez sir, Akhtar Hussain sir, Madam Meena Lok, and Mita Rathore. First, I would like to compliment you all for your lovely, friendly expression.
I think we have lost her.
Literary treat for the librarians fraternity. It was a complete package in itself, ranging from e-resources, technical aspects to communication skills. What more could we ask for? Each topic was so useful, relevant, and practical according to the present day needs. And they were conducted by highly qualified resource persons, which were experts in their field, and each one of us had an opportunity to ask questions, and they were well taken by the resource. There was a connect between us and the resource person, as good as we were attending the session live in
sessions went smoothly without any difficulties. Time, no delays. In joining the meeting from the participant side. Kudos to the organizing team. I want to thank and congratulate the entire Maniplet team, in particular Dr. Parvez Asghar for giving us this opportunity to attend this live. I've been very fortunate to more in times to come. A big thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Anyone else?
Hello.
So,
Yeah, please.
yeah.
Am I audible?
Shyam Sundar, sir?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, Sham Sundar is also there. Sham Sundar, you go ahead first because you have
Good
to speak.
afternoon.
Are you able to hear my voice, sir?
Yeah, we can.
Yes.
We
Good
can.
morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sri Kumar ji, Meenal ma'am. You recognize me? Something is problem is I don't know.
No, we can hear you. No problem. Go ahead. We can hear you clearly.
Yeah, good morning all of you. Meeta ma'am, Akhtar Hussain sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah. I congratulate ManLibNet committee members. Today I have been successfully working as a library director at Texila American University, Guyana, South America. Today at this stage we are working as this library director. First, my basic foundation was from Jamshedpur, Tata. ManLibNet I attended 2003. That is my first. From that onwards, I am a regularly member of the ManLibNet, and given me an opportunity, ManLibNet, to host 2010 ManLibNet convention in Hyderabad with the support of all ManLibNet members. And from that day onwards, my graph has been increased drastically from 20% to 70%. I think you understand. Really, I'm saying, proudly say. Yes, I'm proudly say. Yeah, this is a very professional level, and we are organized successfully. And day by day, it is growing like anything. Like graph is also increasing, like myself, and the ManLibNet body also increasing day by day. I had 1,700 registrations for happen for this LDP program. It's a great to see all it's all the members
Thank you, Dr. Shyam. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
It's a very successful program, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
From day one to I'm attending all the 5 days I am attending the program.
Yeah.
Here the time is in the 11 o'clock, but here early morning 1:30. It's going up to 4 o'clock.
Oh. Thank you.
So much
Now
for
the time
your
is 3:20.
sacrifice.
Thank you, Sam. 3:20 a.m. So it's okay, no problem, sir, because I'm a product of ManLibNet. Grateful, sir.
Thanks a lot for your sacrifice.
No, sir.
You have burned the midnight oil.
So good, sir.
Good afternoon.
Congratulations, all the team members, sir.
Thank you, Sam.
All 5 days, sir. All the 5 days were excellent, sir. Program, sir. Right.
Thank you.
All the best.
Hello.
Thanks.
Hello.
Sam.
Yeah, please.
Good afternoon. This is Srikanth Reddy from Hyderabad, CBIT. Good afternoon, Akhtar Saab and Sri Kumar sir and other team ManLibNet. I congratulate the team ManLibNet for taking up this program during the COVID-19, and it helped us to learn few new things, and also it helped us to network with all the fellow professionals, and it will be, I congratulate, and I hope in future also you will organize such programs. It will help the LIS professionals all over the world, especially in. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I request all of you to please become ManLibNet's member. Our form is there on the website. So you please take membership, all of you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, this is Dr. Kumar Reddy from Tirupati, Andhra Pradesh.
Hi.
Sir, Sir, this is the 5 days organization is very well, sir. I have observed the 5 days program is very nice. I have participated so many webinars. This is the total difference. Is very well, very nice organizer, sir. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hello, sir. I'm Dr. Ruxana Sultana from Calcutta, but my college is at near about Sundarban. It's very much at a remote place where students feel the digital divide very economically and socially. And your Malibnet organized this kind of program, and that will be helpful for my jobs, obviously. So thank you very much, all the member of Malibnet. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam. Thank
you.
So, sir, this is Alvin.
Hi.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Sir, I'm Alvin from Kerala. It has been a great opportunity for a budding library professional like me to be a part of a webinar, such a webinar. The main point I noticed is that you were precise and very punctual. You were actually up to the time, only a small differences was there. So it was a great opportunity for us to know what is happening in the current library situations, what is happening in the new library era. So it is I'm working in a small institution inside a small walls. So it is a great opportunity for people like me to know what is happening outside the four walls. Thank you. Thank you for being.
Thank you, sir.
being a
Thank you,
part of
sir.
this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Very much. It's all, we are led by a person like Dr. Sri Kumar. Obviously, we have to perform the best.
See, this is the team. The teamwork is actually the strength of Malibnet. Actually, if you look at the members, the EC members, the core members who have acted in the launch of this program, all through its conduct, all the 5 days, it's all the teamwork, selfless work, and relentless, contribution. So I think it is that the success of this program is. So anyway, do we have some more?
Yeah. But leadership does matter.
Leadership is from you only, no?
No, come on, yeah. Yes, Dhaval, anyone else?
Sir, there are so many participants.
I think till 1 o'clock. I think till 1 o'clock we can go if you.
No, we have a couple of more items before that. We finish.
Oh yes.
So maybe one more.
Please allow Saira.
One more. Saira, allowed.
One more participant.
Yeah, Mita, you give a right to Saira. I'm not able to connect her.
What?
I'm not able to connect with Saira.
Okay.
They must be logged with another name, no? So there is.
I think some.
That's the main problem. There are so many attendees once they raise their hands.
Just a second, I'll just check. Saira is logging in with some other name.
Yeah, she has logged in with me.
There are so many other participants want to.
So in the meantime, you can allow someone else, and then we will search for Saira.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just ask her.
Yes. Allow someone else, sir.
Yeah, sir. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I think she's allowing.
Yeah. So library SV.
Are we taking more questions? I mean, participants now.
Yes, sir. Just last two questions, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Sir, SV library SVCP.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Saira is Abuzar Qureshi.
Yeah. Saira is
Abuzar Qureshi.
Yeah, fine.
Okay.
She is allowed to talk. Yeah. Tell her. Yeah, Saira, you are online.
Hello, good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes. You can increase a bit.
Yeah, I would like to congratulate the whole Malibnet team for successfully conducting this international LDP program and bringing up the eminent experts from around the globe who covered varied topics which not only helped in enhancing our skills during this lockdown period, but also kept us moving professionally. The topics covered really touched upon enlightening us knowledgeably to solve the issues being faced by us on day-to-day basis and teaching us new skills to be taken upon. The topics covered every day were quite different from one another, and we were actually looking upon the coming up day. I would further request the team to bring up more such issues which may help us grow intellectually and technically in this fast moving technological world. Thank you all once again.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank
So
you.
now Lata madam is online.
Okay.
She wants to talk. Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon to all.
Good afternoon, Leda madam. How are you?
I'm fine and thank you so much for this. First of all, I would like to congratulate the executive team member, and
Yep.
I feel proud to be one of the executive committee member of this Malibnet. And I would also like to bring to your notice that the quality, as far as the topics and the contents are concerned, it has been maintained all through. And once again,
Yeah.
heartiest aspects of the LIS related to LIS has been taken very well taken, and correct. And of course, the time management, wonderful. Congratulations once again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Lata. Thank you very much.
So now the time is very short. So
Yeah.
what
So,
should we do?
Akhtar Sahab, shall I propose the
Yeah.
vote of thanks?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Come to the
Yes, sir.
voting introduction.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. To all the participants, our salutations on behalf of the management network. Our salutations to all of you for attending this 5-day workshop, International LDP. And it is my duty to now formally thank Professor Naqvi. Professor Naqvi has unleashed and demystified the online classroom, how it is working, and he has given an excellent demonstration, online demonstration, using Google Classroom, and he has taken through all the work, taken us through all the modules or all the workflow of the entire setup of the virtual learning environment. So nicely it was done, and very succinctly he has covered the entire gamut of setting up a classroom, an online classroom. It's so nice of him, and thanks to Dr. Akhtar Saab for recommending his name, because I am meeting Professor Naqvi first time, but it was really excellent and informative, and very much learning. And then as you can see in the screen, we have been working on this. We have been discussing, pondering on this program for about a couple of months, even before the lockdown started. Actually, we were planning the Malibnet 2020 at IIM Kozhikode, but because of the sudden onset of this corona and the lockdown, and it is still not clear as to when we are going to get this over. So then we thought, okay, we will come out with a virtual LDP, thanks to Dr. Meeta's compulsions or recommendations. And then we discussed this among our me and Dr. Akhtar Saab, who is our able secretary, general secretary, and then we discussed it with the entire EC members. So I think it is because of the selfless support of the entire EC members that Malibnet has been able to set up, come up with this kind of an unparalleled virtual LDP. I think we have been able to display a very good program in this, and as I have taken note of what the honorable participants have responded, I think it has gone well. And there are some people who have really relentlessly, burned midnight oil, as I was mentioning to Shyam, for making this really a reality. So in that, we have Dr. Akhtar Hussain, who was, who is actually the national coordinator of
social media.
Website and social media, and Dr. Akhtar Hussain is with IMD Ghaziabad, a leading librarian. And then we have the national coordinator LDP, Dr. Meeta Rathod. She is also a member of the Executive Council. And then she is also the Honorable Director of CG Vidya Bhavan and librarian at BRCM College, Surat. We have Dr. Dawal Ben Bhatt, Chief Librarian and at Parallel University. In fact, she came forward and offered us all the help for hosting this when we were just understanding that, the responses, the subscription to the course is crossing 500. Then we were wondering as to how we can manage this, and readily she offered help, and with the help of the Parallel University management, the president in particular, we got all the support of ICT support from Parallel. It's all because of Dr. Dawal Ben Bhatt. We have Dr. Meena Lok. She has been working relentlessly for this, so much in coordinating the feedbacks. And then, she is working with IMCC Pune. Then we have the excellent support we have received from Dr. Chirag Patel, the librarian of Parallel University, as technical support. And then we have received the technical support from Mr. Brijesh Acharya, who is the nodal officer at Parallel University. So it's actually a core of a group of people who have selflessly contributed, worked really hard in making this event a reality. So our salutation to all of them, and we hope we will be able to come up with such wonderful programs in future also. Thank you so much. Dr. Akhtar.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. Akhtar, sir.
I was actually muted, so.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Sri Kumar, and just a couple of announcements that e-certificates will be mailed to all the registered email IDs, and we will try to mail it before 31st of May. And the second thing I wanted to tell you is, we received one message from California, and he says, my mother is a librarian for the past 30 years at Doordarshan, Hyderabad. I am from the United States of America, studied at Drexel University, and know Jai Bhatt. Yesterday, I came across Jai Bhatt's presentation at Manlibnet and wondering if how my mother can join the group. So I think these are the kinds of messages, this is just one message I thought I must mention.
Motivating.
Yes, and this message was received by Akhtar Hussain, so he forwarded me. So I think thank you all, and anything, if I have missed any of the EC members, can please point that out. I don't think I've missed anything, but if I have, please.
Now, our appeal to all the participants is actually, while we are thankful to all of you for attending this, kindly enroll your membership so that it can be a good family, big family.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And we hope to see you again. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all the participants.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much.
I think, yeah. Dhawal, can we have a group photograph like this? Huh? So, print screen.